Hello and welcome to Business 360. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. Markets recover from early weakness to end flat after a fairly choppy session. The rupee weakens further on the back of dollar demand by oil importers and higher crude oil prices, ending at 81.80 to the dollar. Global crude oil prices rise after OPEC nations and allies, including Russia, agree to keep production targets unchanged. This even as the G7 and European Union $60 per barrel price cap on Russian crude comes into effect. Easing of COVID restrictions by China also helps. The monetary policy meeting starts today. CNBC-TV18 Citizens MPC votes for a 35 basis point hike ahead of the RBI's rate decision on the 7th of December, but adds that the Reserve Bank may have to tweak its stance to indicate huge uncertainty about the next policy steps. The G20 Sherpas track under India's presidency kicks off in Udaipur. US Deputy NSA Mike Piles tells CNBC-TV18 that America will continue to look for more ways to impose costs on Russia while recognizing the cost of war for developing world, adding that China has to play a constructive role in debt relief and must agree with what other G20 nations are ready to offer. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz warns that it would be a grave mistake to stop talks with Russian President Putin completely. Scholz, in an opinion piece for a Foreign Affairs magazine, wrote that while the West must stand up for democratic values and protect open societies, one must also avoid the temptation to once again divide the world into blocs. 3 suitors submit binding bids for the bankrupt Shrey Group. As the deadline ends, a consortium of Varde partners and arena investors, NRCL and Autumn Investments submit plans. The Shrey Committee of Creditors will be meeting this week to discuss bids, verify compliance and negotiate offers. Constituencies across central and north Gujarat go to polls in the second and final phase. Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel cast their vote. Results will be announced on the 8th of December. China gives in after several days of widespread protests, announces the easing of many COVID-19 restrictions, but maintains that its zero-COVID strategy is still in place. 2 new COVID-related deaths are reported over the weekend. Iran's Attorney General hints that the country's morality police has been disbanded following months of protests sparked by the custodial death of Mahsa Amini, but there's no official declaration. Protests continue as many say disbanding the unit will not mean the strict laws governing women will change. Well, it's been a choppy session of trade today. We've seen the